y'all, I'm so excited. I have the newest Nomad palette here with me. Look at that shifty cover. This is the Ghost Town USA palette. I cannot wait. Nomad, one of my favorite brands. I love indie brands. I love indie makeup. Nomad makes fun color stories. They have great eyeshadows. I want to test this palette today. I want to see, is this the Nomad quality that they've been giving us? The good mattes, the beautiful shimmers, easy to blend. We're going to swatch out this color story. You see this color story. Oh yes, I'm pumped for this. We're gonna create an eye look. We're gonna have fun with makeup. Let's jump into it. All right, y'all, here we have Nomad's newest palette. Nomad did send me this palette. My palette actually got like held up, stuck in the mail for a while. So I am very excited to have this palette. I wanted to show you a look before launch so you could see what you thought of this palette. So what we're going to do is we are going to swatch and we are going to create an eye look. I'm very excited about this one. I do have an affiliate code with Nomad. It is Heather if you're ever on the Nomad site. I will put the launch date, details, link, any information I have about this palette, I will put in the description box. So definitely check there if you are curious, because this palette is actually launching on Tuesday. So if you're new to Nomad, you don't know much about the brand, they do like travel destination inspired palettes. So fun. I have a whole Nomad playlist here on my channel. I just really love the brand. I have purchased so many of their palettes. I have loved the brand, super happy to be affiliated with them now, and I'm very hopeful this palette is the quality that they have been giving us, because Nomad is one of those brands that have been getting better and better and better and better. So this is their Ghost Town USA palette. I don't always keep the boxes for my makeup, but I'm keeping this box because I like it. I think this is fun. This is cool. It's got the like creepy vibes. I'm here for that. This says the destination is the American frontier, and it is haunted towns and abandoned mines. And the inspiration is saying there's ghosts in them hills. So I think this is going to be super duper fun. Now, the packaging does change. They've had a couple, have they had more than one? I know Haunted Europe was like this, and I really loved that. That palette has since been discontinued. And I was so happy when I saw this palette, because to me, this looks like maybe a new, updated, more current Haunted Europe style color story. I love that we have these neutral tones over here. I love that we have these blue shades, almost gray leaning. We have green and brown. Like, this is gonna be fun. So yeah, close up, swatches. Swatches, of course, don't tell the whole story, but I think they're fun. It's fun to see a color story swatched out, see kind of the shades all laid out like that on the arm. But the true test of the shadow is going to be how it applies on the eyes. So what we're going to do is one eye look today, and then I promise in the future I will do a second eye look. Like I said, I'm just in a bit of a time crunch, so I wanted to make sure I got up swatches and a look for y'all. But we will definitely be creating more with this palette. You know, unless the palette's just terrible tonight and I don't ever want to touch it again. But I have no doubts that it will be the Nomad we expect. So I'm excited. I'm pumped about this color story. Let me put on an eyeshadow primer. Let me zoom y'all in nice and close, and we are going to play with some makeup. Okay, we are ready to play with some shadow. What I want to do is start off with this light green right up here. This is Ghost Town, and in the matte shadow there is like a bull skull embossed in the pan. Very cool. We are going to put this kind of all in the socket, kind of in the socket, but then mainly I'm going to be bringing it above the socket. I'm just making sure I don't have any creases in my Sigma eyeshadow base. This is my eyeshadow primer. Again, no creasing. And oh yes, there is some pigment to that shade. That is beautiful. That makes me so happy, because with greens like this, sometimes they will look very nice and saturated in the pan, and then when you put them on the eyes, they can look a little like dusty and chalky and not have that pretty green pigment to them. So I wanted to use this shade to see if we had that beautiful pigment, and we do. That makes me so happy. My favorite color is green, and I just cannot help myself. When I open up a palette, I want to use the green. Okay, y'all, I am loving that green. I think that's looking so pretty. That makes me happy. We're off to a good start, y'all. Let's go in now with this shade right here, Stagecoach Mary. This one has like a bandit, like a bandit's profile printed in the pan. So I'm gonna pick this up. I'm using Game Beauty brushes today, in case you're curious. And I want to take this matte, and I just want to put it on the lid, on the inner part of my lid, and then bringing it up just right in here. You can bring it up high if you want to. You can keep it really low. Just depends on your personal preference, your eye shape. You do what you want. You can even just keep it on the lid instead of bringing it up like I am. If you want, you know, my tips, my suggestions, there they are. Of course, you do whatever you want, but I'm just gonna pull it just like this. Then I'm gonna go back to the first brush we used and just make sure I have a nice little blend right there. Okay, let's now go in with Dead Man's Hand. And this pan embossing has like a hangman, a skull. I'm taking another Game Beauty brush, and I'm pressing this right on the lid in the outer corner and bringing it slowly up like this, and then I'm going to buff and blend it out just a little right out here. I want to keep it darkest right there on the lid like this, and then I'll just slowly blend it out. I can go back with that first brush and blend as well, so we have a nice little fade in our outer corner. So I will blend some more in a second, but I want to go ahead and put some shadow down on the lower lash line. So grabbing this palette, right in here, I want to put this shade right here, Calamity Jane. It has the Nomad logo, because I know, like, at first glance, this shade and the one we put in our outer corner may look a little similar, but the undertones look different, not the same. So I want to put this right here on the lower lash line, because they're both darker shades, but this one is slightly lighter, and it looks like it has a little bit more of a blue-green undertone, whereas this one is more of like a true navy. And I really like the kind of subtle differences there, because I think it allows you to have some really pretty dimension in your look while being very subtle. Like, it's not something that you're gonna say, you know, like right off the bat makes a huge difference, but it's those little kind of things that I feel like can really make a look elevated. So I'm just going to make sure those kind of meet together right out here in the outer corner, and I'm going to take my time blending this down a little lower. I really like this shade to kind of not be green. It's definitely more blue than it is green, but it does have that little touch of green to it that I think is going to make it so easy to work with the green tones in this palette. So I'm just going back to that original brush now and just making sure I have a nice blend right out here. Okay, all 4 of the mattes we used have worked so well. They've been pigmented, they've been easy to blend. I don't feel like I've had to like really work or struggle with any of them. It's been great so far. Exactly what I expect from like their Royal Europe palette. Was it Royal Europe? Royal Jewels, y'all know the one I'm talking about that I love. Their like Monteverde Cloud Forest palette. It's been that great Nomad mattes that I know and love from the brand. So now I want to play with the shimmer, and really every single one would go with this look. I feel like we have variety in this color story. Whoops, we have variety in the color story, but still this like cohesiveness to where I feel like everything works well together. So I actually want to go in with a pop of purple. This is Ghost Train. This looks like a duochrome. It looks like it goes from like a purple to more of like a bronzy rose type of color, and it has like, instead of a profile of an outlaw, it looks like it's like a center shot of a bandit or something with a hat and a mask. So anyways, we're gonna pick that up. I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray. I do that 99.9% of the time with my shimmers. So I'm gonna pick up that beautiful color and we're gonna pop that right in the center of these 2 mattes. Okay, so I'm just gonna look down into my mirror. This palette does have a big mirror in here. I like that, I appreciate that. So I'm going to press this shimmer on first. I'm pressing it onto the center of the lid. I love the way this shade looks against these mattes. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm glad I went with this beautiful purpley color. Oh yeah, I am impressed. I'm impressed. Okay. So I'm just pressing like this, you see, getting the shadow off my brush, and then I will lightly kind of blend. I just always like to press first, and then I go back and I make sure I get that shimmer shade all in my kind of wrinkles and crinkles on my lid. Okay, that purple, I just love the way it looks with these like matte shades. I think it pops. I'm happy. I'm very happy. So let's take a shimmer and put a little bit on the lower lash line. I want this to be more subtle. So I think the shade we'll use for this will be Quicksilver. Right up here. I'm going to pick this up on an angled brush. Again, this one's from Game Beauty. I'm going to get this on my brush and I am going to spray my brush, and we will lightly put this like just right here. Okay, so I'm gonna look into my mirror. I'm going to kind of press and drag this shade. So starting right here, kind of at the inner corner of my eye, and just dragging and then kind of flicking. I want it to end right there. So I want to press the brush down and then flick. That's what I'm doing. That is really pretty. I really want to get this shade all over the lid, because that, even just that little subtle pop right there, I think is gorgeous. Let's highlight the inner corner though. Oh, I wish I could use all of the shades today. I wish I could use all of the shades today, but there's time. There's time, there's other days. This shade, I don't think I said, it has like a mining pick and shovels embossed in the pan. I think that's really cool. And then for the inner corner, I could go in with this one, would be really beautiful, but let's do this one, this more cool tone. This is, oh, I don't know this. This is a city in Nevada. So it's got like a windmill embossed in the pan. So I'm gonna pick that up on another Game Beauty brush. Okay, so I'm gonna take my brush and I'm going to just press this on. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. That is a nice cool tone. I'm gonna keep it right in here. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, I like it. Okay, here's gonna be our completed look, but I do want to just put on some eyeliner and a lash, and I will come back and tell you my kind of first impression thoughts on the palette, although I think you can already tell. Okay, y'all, here we have the look with liner and a lash. I'm wearing the Kiss lash in the style Sire. I will link everything down below, of course. The Nomad palette, I will link. I'm wearing my Resurgence collection gloss and highlighter duo, both shades. Let's talk about this palette from Nomad. Of course, you are seeing my first impression. My first time playing with this palette. I do know Nomad well though. I have so many of their palettes, and I feel like this is the formula that I know, love, and expect from the brand. The mattes were very easy to work with. The shimmers are shimmering. Oh yes, they are. They are beautiful. We've got a little shift to some of these. We have some beautiful sparkle. This has the potential to be my favorite Nomad palette. The color story, the theming, I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with it some more, but when I look at it, I feel inspired. I like the blues, the greens, the neutrals, the shimmer. Like, I like it. So I'm excited to keep playing with it. Again, I will create another look for y'all. Definitely, most definitely I will, and I'm excited to use this palette again. I feel great in this look. I feel like I have a lot of like looks in mind that I want to do with this palette. It feels like fun and versatile to me, and I am into it. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope whatever you're doing, you're having an absolutely amazing day. If you want to make sure my videos show up in your subscription feed and you don't miss out, please do subscribe, like the video if you liked it. I have so many videos coming for y'all. You have no idea. I'm so excited to be like sharing content. So yeah, please do subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Well, I'll see you tomorrow in a judging new makeup video. Bye!